everybody, today we are going to crochet these socks. They can be made ankle high, knee high or even thigh high or any height we want. Sock weather is just around the corner and one cannot have enough socks. This lace pattern is super cute and easy to make. The socks can be made in most women's sizes and they can be shaped to fit the leg along with increases. The written pattern has been linked below in the description along with the timestamps. This is a step-by-step beginner-friendly tutorial. I have tried to make it as easy as possible. To make these knee-high or thigh-high socks, we are going to need any weight 2 or sport weight yarn. This is the yarn that I am using and I am not sure exactly how to pronounce the name. It's Narcos Luxe Minos Baby. Now this is a 50% polyamide and a 50% acrylic yarn. The yardage is 100 grams, has 336 meters of yarn and the color is 214. You can use any sport weight or weight 2 yarn. You don't need to use exactly the same. We are going to need about 1 to 2 skeins depending on how long we make our socks. We are also going to need a G6 or a 4mm size crochet hook, scissors, measuring tape, a tapestry needle and some stitch markers. Now let's begin. These are my socks. We are going to start crocheting at the toe here, then slowly crochet upwards till we reach the cuff here. Last, we are going to turn around and make the heel for our socks. The main size of these socks are dependent on the foot circumference. So let us see how to measure it. So take the measuring tape and around the widest part of your foot we are going to measure. So this is the mannequin and around the widest part, which is generally around the ball of the foot, we are going to measure. So this is 8 inches. So this sock is sized for 7 inches, 8 inches and 9 inches. Make a slip knot. So you can make it however you want. Next, we are going to chain 2. So yarn over and pull through once, yarn over and pull through twice. And now we are going to make single crochet depending on the size we want. If your foot circumference is around 7 inches, you're going to make 5 single crochet in row 1. If it is around 8 inches, you're going to make 6 single crochet. If it is around 9 inches, you're going to make 7 single crochet. I am going to make 6 single crochet in row 1. So in this very first chain that we made, which is the second chain from the hook. So this is a very first chain. In this chain, we are going to make 5, 6 or 7 single crochet depending on the size we want. I am making 6 single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through both. Go back to the same chain. We are making a second single crochet. Go back to the same chain. We are making a third single crochet. So continue till you have the number you want. So if we want, we can mark the first single crochet with a stitch marker so it is easier to count. So I've finished making all my 6 single crochet. You can count them by counting the V's that you see. I'm just going to tighten this chain. So tug on your slip knot till the chain is tight. And now we are going to join by a slip stitch to this first single crochet that we made. So I have marked mine with a stitch marker. So I'm going to remove the stitch marker first. Then take my hook, insert it into this very first single crochet below both the loops of the V, yarn over and pull through and then pull through the loop on my hook. So this is the end of round 1. If you want, you can tug on the tail end to tighten this. Let's go to round 2. We are going to chain 1. Now we are going to make a single crochet in the same stitch as the slip stitch. So if you look closely, now we are going to go back to the same stitch here. So if you tug, you can see a small gap. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through both. Go back to the same stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on a hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both the loops. We have made 2 single crochet in the same stitch. If you want, you can take the stitch marker and mark the first single crochet again, so it is easy to know where the round ends. Now in the next stitch also, we are going to make 2 single crochet. So we have made 2 single crochet in this single crochet. This is the next V. So I'm going to insert my hook below both the loops of the V, make 1 single crochet. Now go back to the same stitch, make 1 more. So in round 2, in every stitch, we are going to make 2 single crochet. So in this stitch as well, make 1, go back to the same stitch, make 2 single crochet. So continue till the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of the round. If we count all our single crochet, we are going to have double the number of round 1. So I have 12 single crochet, and now we are going to join by a slip stitch to this first single crochet of the round. This loop that we see here is a slip stitch that we made. It is not a single crochet. We won't work into it. And this next loop that we see is our chain 1 stitch. That is right before our first single crochet. So remove the stitch marker and now take the hook, insert it below both the loops of the first single crochet, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. This is the end of round 2. Let's go to round 3. Chain 1. And now we are going to go back to the same stitch and make 2 single crochet. So go back, make 1 single crochet and 2. If we want, we can mark the first stitch with a stitch marker. Now we are going to go to this next stitch. In the next stitch, we are only going to make 1 single crochet. So insert your hook and make only 1 single crochet. So in round 3, a repeat pattern is going to be 2 single crochet in 1 stitch, 1 and 2, and in the next stitch we are going to make only 1 single crochet. So in the next stitch we are going to make 2 in the same stitch, 1, go back to the same stitch, 2, and in the next stitch we are going to make only 1 single crochet. So in the next stitch we will make 2 single crochet, in the next stitch 1. Continue till the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of round 3. Now we can turn our work like this. The inside where we see this yarn tail is the wrong side. So we can turn our work as we work. If we count our stitches, we are going to have 18 if we have started with 6. Now the different counts are mentioned in the written pattern below. At the end of the round, we are going to join by a slip stitch to the first single crochet. So don't forget to count all your single crochet. Join by a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. And now we are going to go to round 4. Begin round 4 with a chain 1. Go back to the same stitch and make 2 single crochet, 1 and 2. And now in the next stitch we are going to make 1 single crochet. Remember to work below both the loops of the V. In the next stitch as well we are going to make 1 single crochet. And now we are going to begin the repeat pattern for this round. So in the next stitch we are going to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. 1, go back to the same stitch and 2. In the next stitch we are going to make 1 single crochet. And in the next stitch as well we are going to make 1 single crochet. So our repeat pattern for the round is 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and 1 single crochet in the next stitch till the end of the round. I will meet you once we finish. I have reached the end of round 4. I have 24 single crochet. They are going to depend on round 1, the number of single crochet that you have made. Now we are going to end by a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round, or the single crochet with a stitch marker if you have added a stitch marker. So insert your hook. Remember to go below both the loops of the V. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. So now we are going to round 5. Chain 1. Make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So insert your hook, make 1 single crochet, go back, make 2 single crochet. Now we are going to make 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. So in this single crochet, we are going to make 1 single crochet. In the next, we are also going to make 1 single crochet. And in the next, also, we are going to make 1 single crochet. So let's begin the repeat pattern for this round. So in round 5, we are going to make 2 single crochet in the next stitch. This is my first. Go back to the same stitch. Second. Then make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So continue in the same way till the end of the round, and I will meet you there. At the end of the round, I have 30 single crochet. We are going to join by a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. So insert your hook below both the loops of the V, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. Round 6. Begin with a chain 1. Now go back to the same stitch. Make 2 single crochet in it. 1 and 2. And now in the next 4 single crochet, we are going to make 1 single crochet each. So in this single crochet, we will make 1. In the next, make 1. In the next, make 1. And in the next, make 1. So the repeat pattern for this round is going to be 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1. Go back to the same stitch. 2. And now 1 single crochet in the next 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I will meet you at the end of this round. I've reached the end of round 6. I have 36 single crochet. So we're going to join by a slip stitch to this first single crochet of the round. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. Let's go to round 7. Begin with a chain 1. Now we are going to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So go back to the same stitch, make 1, go back to the same stitch, make 1 more. So we have made 2 single crochet in the same stitch. Now in each and every stitch of this round, we are only going to make 1 single crochet. So continue making 1 single crochet in all the single crochets. So I will meet you at the end of this round. In round 7, we have made 1 increase at the start, then made 1 single crochet in all stitches till the end. So I have 37 single crochet at the end of round 7, joined by a slip stitch to the first single crochet. Round 8. Chain 1. Single crochet once in the same stitch. Single crochet in the next stitch. Single crochet in the next. So in round 8, we are just going to make 1 single crochet in all the stitches till the end of this round. So I will meet you once you finish. So at the end of round 8, we are going to join by a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. The stitch count remains the same because there have been no increases in round 8. Now we are just going to repeat round 8 for pattern till we reach the end of our toes or till this part measures about 2 inches. So we're going to begin round 9 with a chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, single crochet all around, end the round by a slip stitch. And in this way, continue repeating round 8 as many times as we need till we reach the end of our toes or this part covers our toes. So I'm going to continue till round 15. I will meet you once we finish. Just repeat round 8, no increases. So I have finished making 15 single crochet rounds. Now we are going to move on to the laced pattern. So this is the part covering our toes. So at this point, I'm just going to secure this loop with a stitch marker so I don't lose it, and we're going to weave in this little tail end on the wrong side. So turn your sock inside out. Now this is the wrong side or the inside of your sock, and we're going to weave this little tail end in. So take a tapestry needle. While weaving in the end, we want to be very careful because while making socks, if we weave in too tight, we can ruin the elasticity of the socks. So tug on this tail end so that you close any gap left behind. And now we're just going to go 3 to 4 times in the opposite direction with our tapestry needle. Now don't go for too large distances or tug too tightly on the yarn. I'm not tugging tightly at all on the yarn. So once you're sure the yarn is weaved in, you're just going to take a scissor and cut this end off. After we weave in the yarn, we're going to turn the sock to the right side again and continue with round 1 of the lace. Round 1 of the lace, chain 3, yarn over and pull through once, 2 times and 3 times. This is our first double crochet. Now we're not going to work into the same stitch which is here. We're not going to work into the next single crochet here. And into this third single crochet, we're going to make a V stitch. So skip this stitch, and in this third stitch, we're going to make a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Let's do it together. So we're going to yarn over first. Skip these 2 into this third stitch. Insert your hook below both the loops of the V. Yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. We have 2. We're going to yarn over and pull through the last 2. Now we are going to chain 1. So yarn over and pull through. Now we are going to go back to the same stitch and make a double crochet. So yarn over, go back to the same stitch as the first double crochet. Insert your hook, yarn over and then pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. We have 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So we have made a V stitch. Let's begin the repeat pattern for this round. So this is the stitch that we have worked in. We're going to skip the next 2. Skip this stitch, skip this stitch. And in this next stitch, we're going to make a V stitch again. So yarn over, skip into this next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Now we are going to chain 1 and go back to the same stitch and make a double crochet. So we are going to continue repeating this pattern till the end of the round. Skip 1, skip the next, and into this third stitch we are going to make a V stitch. So make a double crochet, a chain 1 and a double crochet in the same stitch. So we will skip the next 2 and in the third one we are going to make a V stitch. Continue till the end of the round and I will meet you at the last stitch. I have reached the end of my lace round. So I have made a V stitch in the second last stitch. This is my last single crochet of the round. This is the slip stitch and this is my chain 3. This is my first chain, my second chain and the third chain that we made at the beginning of the round. So in this last single crochet, we're not going to work. So skip this last single crochet and join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. So in this third chain, we are going to join by a slip stitch. So let's join by a slip stitch to the third chain. Now this is my very first double crochet. Right before that, this is my third chain. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. Round 2 of the lace pattern, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this is our first double crochet. Now we're not going to work into the same chain 3 or this very first double crochet. We're going to jump to the center of the V here, or where the chain 1 space is. So this is where we are going to make 3 double crochet. So let's do it together. Yarn over, jump to the center of this first V that we see. This is our chain 3, this is our first V. Into the center of the V, we're going to make 1 double crochet, yarn over, go back to the same, make another double crochet, yarn over, go back to the same and make the third double crochet. The repeat pattern in this round is very easy. In the center of all the V's, or in this gap made by the chain 1, we are going to make 3 double crochet. So after the 3 double crochet here, jump here to the next V. In the gap here, we are going to make 3 double crochet. So I'm going to begin with the yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. This is my first double crochet, yarn over, go back to the same space. We are making our second double crochet, yarn over, go back to the same space, and we are making our third double crochet. So after we make our 3 double crochets in this V, we are going to jump to this V, and in the gap here, we are again going to make 3 double crochets. So in the same way, continue making 3 double crochets in all the gaps or the chain 1 spaces of the V, and I will meet you at the end of this round. So I've reached the end of the second round, and you can see in this very last V, I've made my 3 double crochet. Now we are just going to join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. So this is our first chain 3, this is our second chain 3, this is our first chain, second chain and third chain. This is our very first double crochet. So in the third chain, be careful that you insert your hook into the third chain, yarn over, pull through and then pull through the loop on the hook. Round 3. Now we are going to begin with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This is our first double crochet. Now we are going to double crochet in this double crochet that we see. So don't work into the same stitch, but into this double crochet, or the first double crochet of these 3 double crochet made in the V here. We are going to make a double crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So we have made a double crochet in this very first double crochet that we had worked into this V. Now we are going to begin the repeat pattern for this row. Chain 1. Skip the next double crochet, and in the next double crochet we are going to make a double crochet. So in this double crochet, make a double crochet, and in the next double crochet as well, we are going to make a double crochet. So yarn over, we are always working below both the loops of the V. Hey guys, if you're enjoying this pattern, I'll be very grateful if you can like this video so it can reach more people. Now let's continue. So this is our repeat pattern for the row. We are going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet in the next 2. So make 1 double crochet in this double crochet and 1 double crochet in the next double crochet. We're going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet in this next, and double crochet in the next. So continue till the end of the round and I will meet you once we finish. You're going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet, then make 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 double crochet. I have reached the end of the round and after my last repeat of chain 1, skip 1 double crochet in the next 2 double crochet. I have only 2 double crochet left. So what we will do is chain 1, skip the next double crochet in this very last double crochet. And this is the end of our round. Join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. Now we are just going to repeat these 3 rows for pattern. So we will make the V-stitch round, then the round with the 3 double crochet in the V-stitch, and then the chain 1 and 2 double crochet round. So I'm going to show you what to do. So this is my mannequin foot. There is a crease here where the foot ends and the leg begins around the ankle in the front of the foot. So we're going to continue our lace pattern till we reach the crease. So we want to make sure we reach the crease with the lace pattern. So next we are going to repeat this V-stitch round. So we are going to begin with a chain 3. Now we are going to work a V in this very first chain 1 gap that we see. So yarn over, go to this gap, make a V-stitch. So we are going to make a double crochet, chain 1, go back and make a double crochet. So this round, the V-stitch is very easy to make. We're going to jump to this next chain 1 gap between the 2 double crochets. So here is our chain 1 gap and make a V-stitch. So make a double crochet, chain 1 and double crochet in this gap. So skip over these 2 double crochet, come to the chain 1 gap and make the V-stitch. So continue till the end of the round and I'm going to meet you there. After the last V in the chain 1 space, skip over this double crochet and join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. So we have finished our V-stitch round. So next we are going to make the 3 double crochet in the V-stitch round and then we are going to make this third round of 2 double crochet and then chain 1. So continue these rounds till you reach just above the crease. I will meet you there. So you can see a photo of the foot where I have reached the crease with the lace pattern. So this is what our sock looks like right now. So now we are going to leave a gap for the heel and continue working on the leg with the lace pattern. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I want this slip stitch area to be at the bottom of my foot near the sole and to lie at the back of my leg. For this reason, I'm going to have to adjust a little bit now. So I've finished weaving in any extra ends. So now bring the 3 stitch markers because we are going to continue with the leg and we are going to need them. Where we add the stitch markers depends on the number of single crochet we have started with in row 1, whether it is 5, 6 or 7. So if we have started with 5 single crochet in row 1, we are going to leave 9 stitches on either side and add a stitch marker. If we have started with 6, we are going to leave 10 and add a stitch marker. And if we have started with 7, we are going to leave 12 and add a stitch marker. So let me show you how to do it. So I have started with 6 single crochet. So I am going to leave 10 stitches and add a stitch marker. Now we are going to count this chain 3 as the first stitch. 1, 2, this chain 1 counts as a stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and this is the 10th stitch. So here I am going to add my stitch marker. So once we do that, we are going to do the same for this side. Start counting from the chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and this is my 10th stitch. So in the 10th, I'm going to add a stitch marker. Now remember to count the first chain 3 on either side and each chain 1 space is going to count as a stitch. If you started with 5 single crochet, you're going to leave 9 stitches and add a stitch marker on this side and then on this side. If you have started with 7 single crochet in row 1, then you're going to leave 12 single crochet on this side, add a stitch marker, and 12 on this side and add a stitch marker. Remember to count the chain 3. Now we are going to attach the yarn. We'll start attaching the yarn, add the stitch with the first stitch marker and then chain and then attach it to the stitch with the second stitch marker. So we are going to chain depending on our size again, and I will tell you how much to chain. For 5 single crochet we are going to chain 17, for 6 we will chain 19, and for 7 we are going to chain 23. So this is my chain 3, and to the left I have added my first stitch marker. So we are going to attach the yarn where the first stitch marker is. So to attach the yarn, we are going to insert a hook into the stitch with a stitch marker. Now catch the yarn in a loop form on the hook. Pull it through. Now we are going to begin chaining. So we will chain depending on the size we want to make. I am going to chain 19. So yarn over and pull through 1, 2, 3. Remember to keep this chain very loose. Do not chain tight. So I will meet you once you finish. So I've finished making my entire chain. You want to make sure the chain is straight or that all the V's of the chain face up before we attach it to the second end here where the next stitch marker is. So count your chain, confirm, make sure the chain is straight, and now we are going to attach to this next stitch marker. So this is the stitch marker on the right. Now insert your hook below both the loops of the V, then yarn over and pull through and then pull through the loop on the hook. So we have attached by a slip stitch. Leave about 4 inches of this yarn, cut it, pull out a loop by tugging on the crochet hook. Now we are going to weave in this end and this end. I will meet you once we finish. So I weaved in all the ends, and let's bring a third stitch marker in. We are going to find the center of our chain. It will depend on the number of chains we have made. For me, it is the 10th chain. I am going to add a stitch marker to the 10th chain or the center. We are going to attach the yarn in this chain to start making the leg. So we are doing this so that all our slip stitches lie in the same place or to the back of our leg. So on this side we will make the heel, and towards the front we are going to make the leg. So on the back where you see the slip stitches, we are going to work the heel. So let's go. So in the stitch with a stitch marker, we are going to insert a hook to attach the yarn. So do it carefully. Once we do that, we are going to take the yarn in a loop form, catch it on the hook and then pull it through. Now we are going to chain 3. 1, 2 and 3. This is the first chain 3 we make at the start of every round. Now we are going to continue with our V-stitch round. So we are not going to work in the same chain we made the chain 3. Then skip the next chain, and in this third chain we are going to make a V-stitch. So make a double crochet, a chain 1 and a double crochet in the same chain. So after this we are going to skip 2 chains. So skip and skip, and in the next chain we are going to make a V-stitch again. So I am going to go below 2 loops of the chain. You can work it however you want. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same chain. Continue making the V stitches till you reach the stitch marker, and I will meet you there. So now I have reached the end of this chain. I have 1 chain left. This is the stitch we have attached the chain in. So we are not going to count this. This is my next stitch, so we will count this. Skip the 1 chain, the next stitch, and we have reached this chain 1 gap. So in this gap, we are going to make a V stitch. So we have made row 4 in the same way. In every chain 1 gap, we are going to make a V stitch. So I will meet you once we reach the next stitch marker. So in the chain 1 gap, I have made a V stitch. Now this is the next stitch, we will skip it. In the next stitch, I have attached my yarn. So this is not going to count as a stitch. We will move on to the chains now. Now we want to straighten the chain and make sure we are working so that our chain remains straight. So I'm going to skip the first chain as well, and into the second chain I'm going to make my V stitch. Again, skip 2 chains, and in third chain I'm going to make my V stitch. Skip 2 chains, and in third chain I'm going to make my V stitch. And now we have reached the end of the row. Now at the end we should have only one stitch left before the stitch marker. If we have more, it doesn't matter. All we will do is join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. This is my first, second and third chain. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through the loop on the hook. If we want, we can check our stitches again. I have 37 at the end of this row, which is the same as all my rows before. So you want to make sure you haven't skipped any. So this is what a sock will look like from the side now. We will continue the leg on the top here. At the bottom here, we are going to make the heel. So I've put it on the mannequin leg, and this is what it is going to look like right now. You want to wear it and check that it fits properly. We will work the heel last. Right now we are going to continue with the rows on top here. So this is what our sock is going to look like right now. This is the back where we have all the slip stitches, and this is where we are going to make our heel. Now to the front here, we are going to continue our rounds like this, and this is where we are going to make the leg part. So be careful you don't work into this gap here where you see the slip stitches. Turn like this and be sure you're working your rounds like this. This will become like this. Now we are going to make round 2 of the lace. So we have made this before. It's exactly the same. We are going to chain 3. Jump to this gap in the center of the V or this chain 1 space and make 3 double crochet. 1, 2 and 3. Now we're going to jump to this next gap and make 3 double crochet in it as well. Continue till the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of round 2. After we make 3 double crochet in the last V, we're going to join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. Let's go to round 3. Now you can see the slip stitches are here. Then we have left a gap for the heel here, and the slip stitches continue here. So now we are going to round 3. Round 3 is also like the lace round before. So we are going to chain 3, double crochet in this first double crochet that is made in the V here. So insert your hook, make a double crochet. Then we are going to chain 1. Now we are going to skip the next double crochet in the next double crochet, and double crochet in the next double crochet as well. So the repeat pattern for this round is going to be chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and double crochet in the next stitch. So we are going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet in the next, double crochet in the next till the end of the round, and I will meet you there. So after our last repeat of chain 1, skip 1 stitch, double crochet in the next 2, we have 2 stitches left. So we are going to chain 1, skip the second last double crochet, in the last double crochet, make a double crochet. Join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3 to end this round. So now we are just going to repeat round 1, 2 and 3 for pattern for the rest of the leg. So you can make this as long as you want, up till the knee or above the knee. So I will show you how to increase in case you want to increase. If you don't need to increase, you can just continue making these rounds. Once we finish making the entire leg, we are going to add a border on top and then we are going to make the heel last. So I'm going to make one increase just before the calf. So I will meet you once we reach just before the calf. You can wear your sock and see exactly where you want to increase. Start increasing half to 1 inch before. So this is my sock now. It reaches about 1 inch below my calf. Now I am going to increase. Before we increase, wear your sock and make sure you need to increase. The sock tends to stretch and you may not need to increase at all. We are going to increase about 1 inch. So we are going to increase over 3 rounds. We will always increase 3 rounds together. So I have reached round 1 or the V-stitch round, chain 3. Now we are going to make a double crochet in this first double crochet. So this is our chain 3, this is the double crochet. In this double crochet, make a double crochet. Now in this gap or the chain 1 space, we are going to make a V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, go back to the same space, make a double crochet. In this next chain 1 space, make a V-stitch. Now continue making V-stitches in all the gaps or the chain 1 spaces till you reach the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of the round, made a V-stitch in the last chain 1 space. Now in this double crochet, we are going to make a double crochet. So usually we skip this first and last double crochet, but we have worked a stitch in both of them because we are increasing. Now join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3 to end this round. Let's go to the second lace round, chain 3. So we are increasing in this round as well. Now this is my chain 3 and this is my first double crochet. So in this double crochet, we are going to make 2 double crochets. So make 1 double crochet, yarn over, go back to the same stitch and make 1 more double crochet. So now we have reached our first V. Here we are going to make 3 double crochet in the chain 1 space. Make 1, 2, 3. Jump to the next V. Make 3 double crochet in the chain 1 space. Continue in the same way till the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of the round. This is my last V. After that we have a double crochet. So in this last V, we are going to make 3 double crochet in the chain 1 space of the V. Okay, so this is a part of the V. Jump to this last double crochet and here we are going to make 2 double crochets in this double crochet. So make 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet in the same stitch. End this round by a slip stitch to the third chain. Now let's go to the third lace round, chain 3. So we are going to make a double crochet in this first double crochet. This is our chain 3. Yarn over, go to the first double crochet, make 1 double crochet. Now we are going to chain 1 and go to the next double crochet and make a double crochet in it. So what we have done is made a double crochet, chain 1. Without skipping a double crochet, we have made a double crochet in the next double crochet. Now we are going to make a double crochet in the next double crochet. After this, we are going to begin our repeat pattern. So we are going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet in the next double crochet in the next double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next double crochet and double crochet in the next and double crochet in the next. Continue till the end of the round. So I've reached the end of the round. Usually after the last repeat, we have only 2 double crochets left. We have 4 double crochets right now. We are going to chain 1, skip the next double crochet in this next double crochet Then we are going to double crochet in this next double crochet as well. This is the second last double crochet. Now we are going to chain 1 and double crochet in this last double crochet. Join by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. And this is the end of the round. So now we have finished one entire increase. The next round is going to be a normal round, no increases. Now this is a V-stitch round. So we are going to chain 3. So remember, we will start all increases at the V-stitch round and end at the third lace round. Now after that, we are going to begin a normal V-stitch round. So after we chain 3, we are going to jump to this chain 1 space. Now this is going to be a little squished, so you can just stretch it out and see this chain 1 space. Skip this first double crochet and next you're going to see the chain 1 space. In it, we're going to make a V-stitch. So double crochet, chain 1, double crochet all in the same space. Now we are going to go to the next chain 1 space and make a V-stitch. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Continue till the end of the round and I will meet you there. So I've reached the end of the round. This is my second last chain 1 space. The last chain 1 space is going to be a little squished. You can find it by locating the chain 3 first. Then there's a double crochet and here there is a chain 1 space. So in this space, we are going to make our last V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet and end by a slip stitch to the third chain of the chain 3. Next we'll work round 2 of the lace, then round 3 and so on. Repeat round 1, 2, 3 as normal till however long you want your sock to be. Now you can make another increase just before the knee if you want. If you don't need it, there is no need to make it. So finish making the entire sock with as many increases as you want and as long as you want it. I will meet you once you finish. Last we are going to add a border together before we make the heel. So now I have finished making my entire sock. Wear it and check if you like the fit. Last we are going to make the cuff or the border for it. So now we are making the last round. This is round 3 of the lace and now we are working the border. So we are going to chain 1 and we are going to make a single crochet in the same stitch. So go back, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through both. So now we want to remember that all these chain 1 spaces count as a stitch. All the double crochets count as a stitch. So we are going to skip 2 stitches. We are going to skip this next double crochet and this chain 1 space. And in this next double crochet, we will make a shell, which is 6 double crochet in the same stitch. Let's do it together. We are going to yarn over first. Now skip and skip. And in this next double crochet, we are making 6 double crochet. So this is my first double crochet, yarn over, go back, my second, my third, fourth, fifth, so 6 double crochet all in the same stitch. After this, we are again going to skip 2 stitches. So we have worked in this double crochet, skip this next double crochet, skip the next chain 1 space and in this double crochet, we are going to make a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through both. So our repeat pattern for this row is going to be, we are going to skip 2 stitches. So we have worked in this stitch, skip and skip. In this next stitch, we are going to make 6 double crochet. So I finished making all my 6 double crochet. Now I'm going to skip 2 stitches again. So skip this double crochet, skip the chain 1 space and in the next stitch, we're going to make a single crochet. So we are going to continue repeating this pattern till the end of the round. Skip 2 stitches, make a shell, skip 2 stitches and make a single crochet. I will meet you once you finish. So I've reached the end of the round. I've made a single crochet in the last double crochet and now we're just going to join by a slip stitch to this first single crochet of the round. This is the very first single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through and then pull through the loop on the hook. Now we will leave 4 to 5 inches, cut this yarn and weave it in. After making the cuff, we are going to come back to this heel space that we had left at the beginning. So this is where the toe started. This is a heel space. And on the right side, we are going to complete this heel. First, we are going to attach the yarn. I'm going to do it near the seam here. So this is where the toes are. And here I'm going to attach the yarn. Now keep your 2 stitch markers ready for making this heel. Attach the yarn in the same way we have before. Insert your hook where you want to attach the yarn. Catch the yarn, pull it through. And now we are going to chain 1. Make a single crochet in the same stitch. So go back and make a single crochet. So now we are going to continue making single crochet in all the stitches. So I'll make a single crochet in this stitch. The chain 1 space counts as a stitch. So make a single crochet in it in the next stitch. And so on. Make a single crochet all around. At each of these corners, we are just going to make one single crochet. So I have reached one of the corners. I'm going to make one single crochet in it. And now there are V stitches here. So I'm going to make one single crochet here. And in this gap, I'm going to make 2 single crochet. So in the gap of the V, I'm making 2 single crochet. 1 single crochet here. And in this gap, 2 single crochet. So continue till you reach the other side. So I've finished this round and I'm going to end by a slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round. Now the count doesn't really matter, but if you want to count the stitches, they are going to be about the same as the last round of single crochet that you made for the toes here. It's okay if it is not exactly the same. We are going to take our 2 stitch markers and mark it at this corner and this corner. So just find the corner stitch, insert your stitch marker in it, do the same for the other side. So this is where we are going to make all our decreases. So you can work in a round continuously if you want, but I am going to make a slip stitch at the end of every round. So we are going to begin with the chain 1, then make a single crochet in the same stitch, and make one single crochet in all the stitches till you reach one stitch before the stitch marker. So till I reach this stitch, I'm going to make one single crochet in all the stitches and I will meet you there. So I'm at the stitch just before the stitch marker. Remove the stitch marker and now we are going to make a decrease stitch. So this is where I have last worked. In the next stitch, I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over and pull through. Now stop making the stitch, move on to the next stitch. Insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on a hook. We are going to yarn over and pull through all 3. Now you want to add your stitch marker again here. So to the decrease stitch, we have added a stitch marker. Now we are going to continue in the same way, making one single crochet in all the stitches till we reach our next stitch marker here, or till we reach one stitch before our next stitch marker. So I will meet you there. I have reached one stitch before the other stitch marker. This is where I have last worked. So in one stitch before, we are going to start making a decrease again. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. Now we're going to go to the next stitch. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through. We have 3 loops on a hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. We are going to add a stitch marker to the stitch. Now continue working the rest of the round normally. Make one single crochet in all the stitches till you reach the end of the round, and we are going to end by a slip stitch. So now we are just going to repeat this round over and over till we have only 20 stitches left in our round. So that means we are going to chain 1 and single crochet till 1 stitch before the stitch marker, then single crochet 2 together. Do the same till the stitch marker, single crochet 2 together. Come back and end the round with a slip stitch. So let's just do it one more time, and then we're going to continue till we have only 20 stitches left, or around 20 stitches left. So we're going to begin the round with a chain 1, single crochet in the same stitch, and single crochet 1 in each stitch till we reach the stitch marker here. We have reached 1 stitch before the stitch marker. We are going to now single crochet 2 together. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3. We are going to add a stitch marker to the stitch. Now continue making 1 single crochet in all the stitches till you reach 1 stitch before the next stitch marker. So I have reached 1 stitch before my stitch marker. We are going to single crochet 2 together. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3. Add your stitch marker. Now continue 1 single crochet in each stitch till you reach the end of the round and end by a slip stitch. So now we are just going to continue repeating this decrease round. Our stitches will become lesser and lesser. Once we have 20 or 22 stitches left, we are going to stop and sew the heel closed. So I will meet you once we have around 20 stitches left. So I've finished making about 8 rows. I have about 21 or 22 stitches left, and I have decided to stop here. So what we are going to do is leave about 10 inches of the yarn and then cut it. Now we are going to pull out a loop after we have cut the yarn. We are going to use this tail to sew this part closed, but we are going to do it on the wrong side. So first you want to turn your entire sock inside out. So we are going to take both these sides and flatten them against one another like I have here, and then we are going to sew this part closed. So take your tapestry needle and then begin sewing this part closed. So you can use any way that you want. I'm not really good at sewing, so I'm just going to go through this side and 1 stitch on this side and 1 stitch on this side. Tug on the needle. 1 stitch on this side and 1 stitch on this side. Tug on the needle. 1 stitch on this side and 1 stitch on this side. Continue till you reach this end. We've reached this end. Now we are just going to weave this yarn tail in. Then we are going to turn our sock to the right side because this is the wrong side where we have closed this part. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions or queries, please leave them in the comments below. I reply to all the comments. Here are some videos you may enjoy. See you next time.